Cayman, why don't we talk a little bit about the future of this year? Why don't we talk a little bit about Spider-Man 2? Your boy, Tony Todd.
Candyman, baby.
Candyman. He got himself in some trouble last week. So I'm pulling from Andy Robinson at VGC. PlayStation's Spider-Man sequel is currently aiming to release in September, an actor has claimed on social media. Tony Todd, who plays Venom in the Insomniac-developed sequel, seemingly broke protocol on Tuesday by telling a fan that Spider-Man 2's release month, quote, looks like September. This is the same release window publishing sources had recently told VGC to expect the game. Quote, looks like September. Massive publicity coming in August. Commercials start dropping in August, so I'm told. Hold on to your ... and hold breath. Gonna be necessary, Todd wrote. I'm adding in, I'm editorializing to say, after this, a bunch of people started replying to him like, yo, I don't think you're supposed to be saying this. He retweeted or he quote tweeted somebody that was like, hey, if this is true, you really shouldn't be saying this. He just quote tweeted it and said, oops.
I love
Which
him so much.
All of this has been deleted so far. But what hasn't been deleted, I want to switch over here. After a few things, he tweeted this: no more hints about hashtag Spider-Man 2. It was all a fever dream. Blame it on jet lag. Who knows? I might not even be Venom. It's like him like chilling in like a hot tub. And he says, my lips are now underwater. And then it goes even more unhinged. And he releases this video.
I got
Can you hear this?
G's going overseas. Got some little 200 G's. Pitch me rolling. Yeah. Pitch me rolling. This is the person that's taking over Tony Todd's Twitter feed. Don't listen to anything he says because I'm the real truth and tooth and full out because we are. And we all are, whatever you think it may be. Don't trust me because I'm a natural born liar on fire. Tell it.
So essentially, he is trying to plead insanity, I think. So don't believe what he's saying. But back to the article. In December, developer Insomniac Games announced that Spider-Man 2 was scheduled for release this fall/autumn. A September release for PlayStation's flagship 2023 game would put it up against Xbox's Starfield, which was recently confirmed for September 6th. However, the wording of Todd's tweets could suggest that its window isn't set in stone, so it also theoretically could be shifted to give both titles distance. Bill Roseman, vice president of creative at Marvel Games, has described Spider-Man 2 as, quote, everything you love about the first game and Spider-Man Miles Morales, but more. There are multiple foes. I can say the story very much continues and picks up from Marvel Spider-Man to Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, he said last year. Quote, I don't want to reveal too much, but it's the next big chapter. There are a lot of threads, a lot of characters that were in the first two games that you'll see here. End quote. Cayman, do you think your personal friend Tony Todd just told us that this game is coming in September and that is true?
You know, it's funny. I've actually met Tony Todd in person.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He's such a sweet guy. Like, he's so nice. And very, very, very funny. He's a very, very sweet, genuine, and hilarious person.
Oh, I totally buy that.
So watching that clip just is so on brand for him. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I believe 100% that this game is probably coming out.
Me too.
Maybe not September. Maybe I have a feeling they might push it to like October, maybe even November.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think that's more so they're going to be like, hey, we just need more time to polish it. Or they don't tell us they need more time to polish it. That's just when it comes out. But that's what they're doing. But yeah, no, I 100% trust Tony Todd. Like, I was reading all those tweets as they were coming out. Was like, this is funny as shit. Because the thing is, I don't know if they'd announced it yet that he was Venom.
I think we did know that.
Did we?
I don't think that they've really been like leading with that. I think so. For him to be like, I think saying this, it's like, oh, okay, so you know shit about this game, it seems. So yeah, I think it's so funny because also, I mean, you also have to remember, Hollywood doesn't operate like video games do. No. Like, there aren't really secrets like this. Like, there studios, I mean, look at Marvel, Marvel. We know what movies are coming out for the next 4 years and their dates. Now, a lot of those dates are going to change, but it's a totally different world. People know what's coming because they tell us what's coming. So I also just buy that that's the world that Tony Todd knows. So
Yeah.
he assumed he could say like, oh yeah, I mean, this game, I mean, it's coming out within 6 months. Why wouldn't I be able to say it?
Yeah.
But
Also, Tony Todd is old too, guys. Like he's
true.
not a spring chicken anymore. So
Sure.
you also have to throw like give him a bone that like he also it's probably like one, he's old, but also two, like it's Tony fucking Todd.
Yeah.
I don't think he really cares that much.
Probably not. I mean,
He's like,
this will not affect his career in
no,
the
not
slightest.
not in the slightest at all. This man is made.
Yeah.
But now like knowing for a fact like that he is indeed Venom, like not that my hype level wasn't already fucking through the roof, but like it is.
Because has he
So
like
cool.
was he Venom in the cartoon? Like, or is this his first time as Venom, or has he been Venom in the past? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't know if he's been Venom before. Let me look at this.
Why don't you take a look at that? Because I have one more question for you, and then let's talk about Zelda. So looking ahead in terms of exclusives for PlayStation, obviously there's a bunch of games coming to PlayStation for the rest of this year, but the ones that I could think of that are just coming to PlayStation next month, we're getting Horizon Forbidden West, The Burning Shores, or maybe just Burning Shores, DLC for the Horizon game coming like late April, like the 19th, I want to say. In June, we're getting Final Fantasy 16. And I can't remember if Street Fighter 6 is exclusive. I know it has been in the past, but and then supposedly in winter, we're getting Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. So that could be, November, December, or early next year. Do you feel like do you think there's a chance we get any other like major PlayStation games later this year? Or do you think Spider-Man will be like the anchor for the fall? Because we don't know about the Last of Us multiplayer. Obviously, Wolverine won't be coming this year because also Insomniac. Spider-Man 2 will come before Wolverine. Also, Death Stranding 2 likely not coming this year either. But like, do you think there's going to be any other like big PlayStation titles, or do you think this is it?
So we have Final Fantasy 16 dropping in June.
Yep,
June. If we get Spider-Man in September, I think there's a world that exists that in November we could get Factions.
Okay.
But I also could see Factions being pushed to something like a February release date.
Sure.
Sony has had phenomenal success
in that early window. Yeah.
In the early window. And I think a lot of studios, because that's pretty much like the dead month, is like nothing comes out in the winter months. Like that's just not how things worked. It was always big games are always drop at like spring, summer, early fall in preparation for Christmas. And then that is pretty much every window. The games industry has changed. So I think that like we could realistically see Factions dropping or whatever the title of that game is going to be. I could see there is a chance we could get that. But if we do, I would say that's probably going to be like a November release, probably around my birthday, kind of like they did God of War last year. So probably like the first or second week of November. But then again, it's kind of stacked though. If you think about, I mean, it's not, but even then, like, I don't even know, is it like, sure, Horizon's DLC, do we even really consider that to be like some huge release? It's not a standalone DLC. It's not like Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Right. It takes place like after the end of Forbidden West.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I don't foresee it being like, I don't think that they would consider that to be like some huge flagship title, like some huge AAA flagship title release, like they would with like Spider-Man or Final Fantasy 16. So I do think that there's probably something, or there's another Sony studio that is working on something that we don't know about yet, and they could.
I hope that's the case. I hope that we get an announcement or like in the summer about when E3 would be happening. Because we already know that PlayStation is not going to E3, which we're probably going to talk about that next week. I think E3 might be dying, but yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure Silent Hill 2 is an exclusive for PlayStation. So if that were to come this year, that would also be. I might be wrong about that, but I think it is.